It's opening day of the season and we are a go. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please consider liking it because I'm terrible at FIFA and I need all the self-esteem I can get. If you're interested in football shirts, football boots or anything football related, go check out my Depop. The link for that is also down below. If you do need any coins, head over to u7buystore.com. Use the code TVM at checkout for a discount. The link is in the description. So the team to play West Ham in the opening day of the season. You can't see any of the instructions because I've already submitted all of this and I've gone back to show you the team because I forgot to do it. But we have Livakovic in goal, Nianzou, Godfrey and Osifo. I think that will be my main three this season. Obviously, it'll get heavily rotated between the other defenders that we have. So Stanisic, Aguerd and Aya will all come into play in that centre-back role as well. Barisic on the left, he keeps his place, as does Mbabu for now. Dest is a pretty decent player, but also Mbabu is wanted by Atletico Madrid and Valencia, and they've already inquired, and Mbabu says he wouldn't mind talking to one of them. So I'm going to try and keep hold of him. I don't want any more disruptions, but if he says, look, I want to go, what can I do? Declan Rice in the middle next to Pessina. Thales Magno is going to be our central attacking midfield player today. I think I will probably play him and Rafinha in rotation. And Rafinha may get to be a striker at some point as well. But Caden Clark has obviously come in on loan. And he will play there sometimes. Adeyemi and Firmino up top. With the amount of money that we've spent on this team, the amount of effort that I've put in, honestly, it's taken me hours upon hours of research and looking into every single stat of the player, comparing him with others. Have I built a team that is actually capable of winning a football match? That's my concern. Probably not, to be honest. I do this all the time. I've built what I think is an amazing team, and then opening day of the season, we lose 3-0, I question everything, and we basically go from there. But I hold out very little hope that we will win this game, because that's just the way it goes. Trossard's effort is poor. Livakovic equal to it. I think it might have even gone out of play for a goal kick. It did indeed. 25 minutes in, we haven't had a sniff. We are away from home against West Ham. We're a decent side, to be fair. Ball in, Firmino, goal. Well, it's just as simple as that, really. We don't need Onuachu when you've got Firmino. The logic behind re-signing him, of course, was he's going to be a phenomenal... He already is a phenomenal player. But the other logic was, apart from Onuachu, we didn't have any striker who was any good in the air. Rafinha can't head the ball. Adeyemi can't head the ball. But Firmino can. That was the thought process. That and the fact that he was only 30 million compared to... Oh, look, I still haven't done team talks. I mean, to be fair, I'd always click the recommended assistant manager thing anyway, because I don't... I can never pick the right one. The one I always choose always annoys my players. So I always go with whatever the assistant manager recommends I say. So I suppose it's just saving me a button press, really. But we are 20 minutes from time. The beauty of the team this season is this moment right here. Drink it in, because it doesn't matter what player I choose from that bench. They are first team quality. And that is something that I think is going to carry us through this season, because last year, 1 or 2 injuries, the squad wasn't very deep in itself, and there was also an issue of the bench isn't particularly great for players. This year, I don't mind bringing on any single one of these, but apart from maybe Caden Clark, I think all of them are first team players. So I am very, very happy with the way that the team looks right now. Question is, who do we bring on? I might actually bring on Caden Clark for Thales Magno, even though he's not technically speaking a first team player, but I think he's good enough. Definitely good enough. Who else do we want to bring on here? Adeyemi could do with coming off, but at the moment I don't actually have another striker. It's not a case of, oh, go and buy another striker then, because obviously Onuachu and Petagna are coming back from injury. So I don't need 5 strikers. Well, technically, I would have 6 strikers, so I don't need 7 strikers. Who else can come on here? Maybe Declan Rice can come off, Jorginho can come on. I'm just looking at who isn't playing particularly well, to be honest. Caden Clark is nervous about coming on, which is interesting. I think I might leave it there for a minute and then carry on praise the boys. Wait, hang on a minute. I won't. Well, no, I will. I'll praise the boys. Praise them because we've got the ball. Is it going to be a corner or a throw-in? It looks like it's set up for a corner. Substitutes are coming on. Oh, it's a throw-in. And Mbabu to Clark. First touch of the ball for him. And Mbabu knocks it in. Adiemi, not the player you want on the end of it. Sommer. Is that Jan Sommer? Gets it clear. And they live to fight another day. It's a shame we couldn't have just sealed the game there, to be honest. But a 1-0 win against West Ham, even though we've not played particularly well, does actually show a signal of intent, because normally we would be... Oh, God, now Caden Clark's apprehensive. What's wrong with you, mate? I suppose he's like 20 years of age and he's playing his first professional game of football. I suppose that might have something to do with it. I think Maitland-Niles will come on. No, I'm not going to bring Maitland. I'm going to bring Dest on for Mbabu, who's on a yellow, and he did have fitness concerns before the game anyway, so he probably shouldn't have played 80. But, yeah, in a game that I would argue that we've not played particularly well, we're going to pick up the win. Are we? Why do you say it? There's 2 minutes left. Why are you saying that? If we pick up the win in a game we've not played particularly well in, yeah, it just shows how far we've come, really, because we weren't really doing that last year. Firmino ball in. Adiemi has been tripped over there. I mean, to be fair, looked a bit like a dive, but as the manager of the team, I have to say that it looked like he was chopped down. I think Jorginho is going to be on our penalties if logic has anything to say about it, then he will be. No, it's Barisic. Goal! A 2-0 victory in our opening day of the season, by the looks of things. I know a lot of people might say Jorginho. I say Jorginho. My brain can't remember Jorginho, and it doesn't sound very good. It sounds more like a pig. So anyway, good goal, good penalty. Goalkeeper nowhere near it. Very, very pleased with this result, actually, given the stats. Ball in from the corner. Ben Godfrey gets it clear. Like that guy. Can't say his name. Trossard Bowen offside. I mean, all day long. I think Trossard was offside and then Bowen was offside as well. So we're not happy. We're going over with pitchforks to the referee. Goal disallowed. I mean, I could have told you that. I've got a clear view of that. We're going to get to see it again, though. I mean, yeah, all three of them offside. And then he's offside again because he plays it forward, not level. And there we go. That should be... Nope, never mind. I really would like to keep a clean sheet in the first game, to be honest. Barisic bangs it clear. 30 seconds left to keep a clean sheet. Do we have it in us? That's the question. Ball played forward. Soucek, Bowen. Oh, Rashika's there. Oh, great bit of football from Rashika. Why did he not start? He's missed, obviously, but it was a brilliant run. Good ball as well from Bowen, who has played pretty well today. Livakovic to knock it out short to Nianzou. Out to Osifo. And that should be game over. Please. Referee, mate, what are you doing? They're not even bothered. They're just sat on it. Jorginho steals it back again. Referee is adamant there's another goal in this. Firmino is also adamant there's another goal. They've not cleared it properly. And now it's full time. Whew. So now it is time for the Europa League group stage draw. We go straight in at the groups. No need to qualify. We are in pot 3. Not a massive fan of that, to be honest. There are... I mean, I don't mind. The second seeds are not even that great. Like, we can beat every single one of them. And we have beaten a fair few of them on occasion as well. The only real teams to avoid here are going to be Atletico, Inter, and Atalanta, with possibly the exception of Villarreal. The rest of them should be straightforward enough. And then, of course, we have to deal with the Champions League sides coming into it. Let's go into an automatic draw. Deadline day didn't really bring about anything. Aguerd went to Everton, which I'm not a massive fan of, to be honest. The problem with it is I couldn't get anyone in to be a backup. No one wanted to come on loan. So we are going to have to make do with the centre-backs that we have and hope that there's not a crisis. And if there is, hope that the crisis happens before January, and then we can maybe go and get another centre-back in January. We are not in this pot, by the way, so we are looking to see what groups develop. Group D would be fantastic. Group E would be nice. And Group H, potentially. Yeah, Group H, D, or C wouldn't be terrible. Everton have got Atalanta and Copenhagen. Fenerbahce have been given a group that we would have wanted. Leeds have been given another group we would have wanted, and that is now a problem. Oh, dear God. So we've got Ghent, which is fine, but we will have to play Inter, which is not something I wanted. Going into Group H would have been brilliant. The team we need to avoid here, I think, is either Stuttgart or Nice. We've been given Hibs. Right, we can get through that. That's okay. We can get through it. There's no room for error against Hibs and Ghent. We need to beat them twice. The game against Inter, I think, is a write-off. I don't think we're going to beat them. I don't think we're going to be able to compete even. But against Hibs and Ghent, we should, hopefully at least, be getting 6 points apiece there, which means we could go through to the knockouts. But the annoying thing there is we're going to finish second, and then we'll end up facing one of the Champions League teams, no doubt. But there's the group stage. As you can see, it has been some time. I'm back in the hoodie of dreams, and we have had a relatively good start to the season, bar the game against Leicester. So, as you saw, just beating West Ham 2-0. Then we went and beat Crystal Palace 2-1. And against Leicester, don't really know what happened. We didn't create a tremendous amount. Onuachu was maybe rushed back a little bit too soon. He went off with an injury. He's actually back now, to the best of my knowledge. We beat Wolves 3-0. Probably one of the most comfortable performances I've had as Brentford manager since the very beginning. I didn't feel threatened once. I don't think they had a shot on target the entire game. They had 4. They just did not show any intent. It was... We had a goal disallowed with through Firmino as well. But no, this is a complete and utter shash, a lie, if you will. I don't like to use the word lie, but it was. First group game of the Europa League against Ghent. I mean, talk about making a meal of it. How many goals did we have disallowed in the end? 27, I want to say. No, it was 2. Firmino in the 22nd minute. I mean, they're justifiably offside. Both goals offside deserve to be ruled out, but it was just one of those really annoying things that we get the ball in the back of the net and you're looking at it, you're like, oh, is he? And then you look at the VAR and you're like, I guess so, fair enough. But we just, honestly, 85th minute, we threw it away. That was one of their first shots on target because they did have a little bit of a flurry toward the end, as you can see over here actually by the XG match story. But yeah, really irritating game that. We did come out on top. The thoughts going through my head at 1-1, even at 1-0, to be honest, I kept thinking, if we don't win this game and it finishes as a draw, there is a very strong chance we won't go through and we'll end up back in conference. And I don't really want that. Having won the conference, we don't really want to go back into it. There's no need for us to go back into it. I want to win the Europa League. Are we going to win the Europa League this season? No, probably not, but I'd like to give it a good go. I suppose the problem is if we don't finish 7th this season and we don't win the Europa League, we're not going to have European football next year. So if anything, I suppose if we're not going to finish 7th, you kind of want to go into the conference and win that so you can get back into the... Anyway, today we play Man United. Not looking forward to it. I've got this team on paper right now. Everyone's sort of relatively happy. No one's like super chuffed. Well, that's a lie actually. No one's like perfect morale, but we're close. Match fitness wise, I think everyone apart from Ben Godfrey is kind of in the right place. I could play, I don't know, maybe Stanisic, maybe Aya for a little bit more. I tell you what, do I want to do that? Is that wise? I'm gonna. What do I want to do? I could play Aya for some experience. Plus, he's the captain. I don't like taking captaincies away from people. Like, if I had my way, who would I have given? I think Rice would have been the captain for this season, maybe Barisic. But I didn't want to take it away from Aya because I didn't want to have that conversation. So I think Rice is the vice-captain. But I think that could very well be the team to play Manchester United. Adeyemi is injured. He picked up a knock in training. He's out for another 3 days. Jorginho is not really match fit either. Patagna has just come back from an injury, so he will actually go onto the bench instead of Dest because we do have Maitland-Niles, of course. And Onuachu, who is fit and in excellent form. do we play him instead of Rafinha? That's a very good question, actually. I think the answer is yes, to be honest. We'll play him, because he got a good partnership as well. We'll play him instead of Rafinha, and if we need to bring Rafinha on, we can. But that's the team. Do we go straight in to the game here? Tactical meeting. Push higher up. Oh, didn't want to do that. So, when it comes to playing against a team like Man United, do I really want to be playing a super high line with an offside trap? They have pace, to the best of my knowledge. So I don't know if I want to, but my assistant manager is telling me that it'll be a good idea. We are very defensive. Last season, I would have played Griffo here to give a link up between the centre mid and the strikers. Not doing that on this occasion because I feel like we are good enough to break away as one and to link up ourselves. This is a big gap, sure. But I do feel like we are good enough. We're better now than we were last season. The Manchester United starting 11 looks a little something like this. David De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Raphael Varane, Maguire, unchanged. And then, of course, Guerrero from Dortmund. They bought him. I looked at him. Very good player. I glanced. I didn't inquire. I bought, because I already had Barisic, and I didn't really feel like buying another first team worthy left wing back was a good idea. They've still got Paul Pogba. They've still got Bruno Fernandes. They spent stupid money on Antony. I think they spent 68, 70 million on him. And I know that because it was a record transfer from the Dutch league or something like that. I think he came from Ajax. I think that's where I read. And then Paulo Dybala, they picked up Paulo Dybala at the end of the first season. He was on a free. I looked into it, but he'd already agreed a transfer with Manchester United. Not that he would have come to Brentford. Ronaldo's still there going strong, and the captain. Greenwood in there as well. They have Mukiele on the bench, Sancho on the bench. Florian Thauvin has come back from Mexico. He's on the bench. Here we go then. Old Trafford, the theatre of death, if you ask me. I'm not really looking forward to this game. I just kind of want it out of the way. We've had a shot. Alert the press. Nianzou with a free kick. Don't give it away. Locks it long. Firmino gets down to Pessina, who's through on goal, and David De Gea has made a save. Pessina could have gone the other side of the keeper. I suppose hindsight's a wonderful thing, but I really feel like he should have done better. This is the reason Onuachu started, by the way. Barisic with a corner in to Firmino, bouncing around the place. It's in by Matteo Pessina, the player who I think probably should have scored in the first instance, has just put the ball in the back of the net just inside of 9 minutes. I am very happy. The ball completely bypasses Onuachu. It's bouncing around in there, and Babu and Firmino both have attempts, and then Pessina, third time of asking, puts it in. And I'll tell you what, we've started well. We've started very well. Touch wood, please, Jeebus. We've had 5 shots on target in the first 20 minutes. 6 shots make it. We've got a 1xG. They've not got anywhere near us, which obviously means we're going to lose 2-1. But here they come. I mean, when you're playing a team who've got Ronaldo and someone like Bruno Fernandes behind him as well, you cannot take anything for granted. We've had 7 shots. Should we have made them count? I mean, our XG isn't particularly high given the fact that we've had 7 shots. We are 1-0 up though. And I know a lot of people will be watching this and thinking, well, it's only Man United. They're not as good as they used to be. In this save, in this universe, in this game, they are very good. They pushed Liverpool all the way to the wire last season. I think there was only 2 points in it. Guerrero with a corner, and it's in the back of the net. And that's what I'm talking about. They've had 1 shot on target all game. Corner, 5 minutes after the restart, and Maguire just taps it in. I know that's how we scored, but we've had sustained pressure. Livakovic has literally just plonked it on a plate for him. A little bit disappointing that we've conceded in that manner. They've now had 5 shots second half. Shall we encourage? I should have praised the team actually after we scored. We have not done anything in the second half at all. I'm reluctant to make a change because I would be very happy with a point, but I feel like we are going to have to make a change. Fatigue may be an issue for some players, especially both strikers apparently. Firmino and Onuachu not having the best time of it. Thales Magno will come on, and double change, Rafinha is going to come on for Onuachu as well. Double striker change, that's all I'm going to do as well, because the rest of the team is playing particularly well. and not one of them is fatigued. I feel like we've had 7 shots. We probably should have done better in front of goal. So maybe it's the strikers who haven't done what they should have done. Well, it is, let's be honest. But they have a highlight here. Wan-Bissaka to Sancho. We are 7 minutes or so, 8.5 minutes away, 7.5 minutes even from time, plus stoppage time. I don't like this, although we have picked up the ball. Bit of lag for some reason. I'm not doing anything else, so that was a bit weird. Osifo knocking about with it. Janelt is playing, by the way. I'm going to call him Janelt, not Janelt or Janelt or whatever. I think we're going to give this away here, aren't we? No. Thales Magno through the middle. He's in on goal. That is horrendous. Why? Yeah, Janelt is playing. I think maybe his first game this season, actually. Not sure. But he's not our only natural DM. Of course, Declan Rice is a natural defensive midfield player, but kind of wanted him a little bit further forward because he's more capable. Could have played Maximovic, actually, but, you know, it is what it is. What do I want to do? The defence look a little bit wayward. Is Maitland-Niles from Barbu a waste of a substitution? Because it's 1-1. There's just over 5 minutes left. Do we want to try and win this game, or are we happy to sit on it and maybe take off a defender to rest them because they are a little bit on the tired side? Or do we want to take Janelt off and maybe push for a goal? I'm thinking... Or is that stupid? It might be. It might be. I'll put Pacina on support. That's what I'm going to do. So Maximovic has come on for Janelt. He'll play as the box-to-box. Now, Pacina will go further forward because he's natural there. Rafinha and Thales Magno can play Cam, but we'll leave him there. Patania could have come off the bench, but we'll do that. We'll remain cautious with a higher line. Oh, I swear, if we concede, it's my fault and no one else's. We have a highlight. I've just made the sub and we've got a highlight. Is that good or is that bad? I don't know. Rafinha, ball over the top. Thales Magno heads it down. De Gea's got it, and now all of a sudden, it's brown trousers time because I have no faith in my team whatsoever. Nianzou nods it down. Here's Thales Magno. He's been a bit lively since he's come on, Magno. Here's Mbabu down this... right-hand side. Pogba gets it. Oh, dear. I mean, this is the second time they've nicked the ball back. Greenwood has to be offside. He's missed anyway. He looked offside, if I'm being honest. We'll never know. If we are to get a point in this game, we will go 7th. And there we go. A point at Old Trafford. It's all right, really, isn't it? I mean, maybe we should have won. Definitely one of those games where I feel like it would have been very, very harsh had we not got anything from it. And at the end of it, I'm thinking maybe we probably could have and should have got the win. But if you'd said to me before kickoff, you'll come away with a point and maybe feel a little bit disgruntled you didn't get the win, I would have been pleased. I genuinely would have been very happy. Chelsea have started the season very strongly. Last season, of course, they finished 14th. So to see them up back in second is actually a little bit concerning because now we're trying to compete. Last season was probably the season to go for top 4 and we just did not have it in us. This season I feel much better. That game against Man United, we were comfortable. I feel like it could be our year to get European football through the league system. Schedule-wise, Leeds in the Carabao next, and then Bournemouth. We have Inter Milan in the European group stages. The annoying thing is I don't want to come back for Inter because it's only 2 games away. But, obviously, we want to see Inter. I think what I might do, I'll come back for Leeds in the league because that's a big game for us because Leeds are a team that are on our level. And we'll play Hibs as well for a... hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, a nice comfortable European group game. And then we'll come back for Inter and Spurs, or Man City Inter, one or the other. Probably, well, maybe Man City Inter, because there's quite a few games, or quite a few days, but between those games for fatigue-wise. So we'll miss the first time we play Inter, but the second time Mark my words, we're going to be there. Firmino, 4 goals this season. Barisic has a average match rating of 7.94. Not quite as good as Rafa of Spurs, but still doing all right. And Ryan Kent with 2 Man of the Match awards. I looked at him, you know. Leeds were in for him, and I looked, and I was like, is it just pointless? And am I purely going on the fact that he is a Rangers player? And in this save, we've already bought Barisic and Hadji. We could have made it a hat-trick and got Ryan Kent. And also, of course, back in the days of, FIFA 19 in FIFA, he was actually a really big deal. It would have been fun to bring him in, but I think it would have been a waste. How much did they spend? They brought him in for 24.5 million. He's done really well. 3 goals in 5 games with 2 Man of the Match awards. Maybe it would have been smart business to bring Ryan Kent in, but you know, it is what it is. I'm happy with the team that we have. And there it is. That's the end of the episode. We are currently in 7th, ahead of the team that beat us in the league. We have some favourable fixtures going forward, as well as some decent European games to play. When we come back, as I mentioned, we will play Leeds first, and then 4 days later, we will have a game against Hibs in the Europa League. By then, the Europa League will be in some shape. We will know roughly what we need to do to get out of it. The Inter game is the big one. If we can beat Inter, then we can actually top the group quite comfortably, I think. We just need to beat them once and then not get battered against them in the second game, and we should be fine. But yeah, all eyes will be on that when we come back. If you have enjoyed this episode of the Brentford FM Save, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, of course, and until the next time, goodbye.